Hey everyone, Kane here, and in this one, we're gonna talk about Shadow Leopard set and how good is it, and whether or not you may require all of its pieces. So, I have been using all of it. I have tested a couple of them as well, as far as I was able to, and the weapon was kind of an impossible to test because I don't think I've noticed any specific buff on an archer, or rather a mage or a necromancer, as I do believe the necromancer is this. So yeah, we're gonna talk about that as well. But first, let's start with the shield. So upon death, friendly ranged units grant Shadow Leopard Guard, which is, I guess, the shield, with a radius of 6 to their locations. Range units within range are granted Shadow Leopard armor equal to 25% of their max HP. Effect lasts 8 seconds, can only be triggered once. So let's see, increases Shadow Leopard HP to 25 and duration from 8 to 15. So we can get bonus evade chance or bonus attack speed. So of course you're gonna go for attack speed. Shadow Leopard is triggered twice at most with an interval of 10 seconds. Within 15 seconds, units have 70% bonus damage. Now this, god damn dude, this can actually be pretty friggin' crazy. Now the thing about this shield is that it doesn't only affect the archers, and even it says friendly ranged units. I've tested it, and even if heroes die, it actually procs. However, there is a catch. The first thing that dies actually triggers it, meaning if, like on your stall side, again, a frigging Gazul or whatever dies, he's a ranged unit, and this is gonna proc on other buffers and stuff like that. So that is that sort of a catch, that any ranged unit dying will proc this shield. So it can sometimes be not very reliable, and that's, I do believe, pretty much most of these pieces of, let's say, the Shadow Leopard set. Now, I mean, it really depends how you look at it, whether you want to keep the buffers alive as well, and the HP shield is pretty decent. However, it does have a pretty huge bonus damage as well as attack speed. So if this would proc on your burst side, on, let's say, your rogues, or close to your rogues, or on your other mages and stuff like that, this could actually be pretty friggin' huge in terms of the availability of the buffs and stuff like that. As well as there is another thing, at tier 3 you get the special, or rather rank 4, sorry, you get the special circle. And the special circle is either troop crit rate and crit damage, dragon resistance, or hero crit rate and crit damage. So do keep that in mind. You don't require tier 6 for that. Now, the Shadow Leopard Blade, I have it level 4. At the start of the battle, 3 friendly mages or undead mages, I do like assume it's necromancers, obtain a surprise spike, which repeatedly marks the target with a spike stack up to 10 times for every basic attack. Surprise spike increases the damage dealt by a hero. Effect lasts effect stacks 5.5% per stack. Increases attack speed by 50%. This is the tier 4 buff. So it stacks 10 times. You can get it to increase damage dealt by heroes to 55%. Now, you have to keep in mind which race you're playing. So if you're playing, let's say, Lich, right? And this is mages and necromancers, you can proc this on, say, Cleo. If you use her, you can proc this on Gazul. You can proc this on Ophidia. So essentially, not your main DPS dealers in the very beginning of the battle, right? So it can be literally useless to you. And that is what this kind of thing is. It's like so situational that sometimes it can be a reason of your win, and sometimes can be pretty friggin' useless to you. So let's read further on. So skills, this is what I have. We're gonna talk about that in just a second. 5-star increases the surprise spike duration to 20 seconds instead of 10. Now this is also important because majority of the mages do require like at least a few seconds to get their stuff going. Like let's say Valerie for her ultimate, Arian to stack a little bit, for Tisiphone to also get her pets out and also start to do a bit more damage with more attack speed. Now the harmonies. So you have one where a hero with Surprise Spike has 20% chance dealing 75% more damage to melee units. Now this is actually pretty good for Valerie. However, if you cast Valerie Ultimate, you kind of do require about like 5 seconds or so to cast her, or like 3 or 2 seconds for her ultimate to kick in, and you have like 10 seconds. And sometimes they're not really even facing melee units, right? Or a couple of heroes, and she's like doesn't really do that much damage to melee heroes. What she can do is clear huge clumps of armies like Stallside and whatever. So this might not be like the best pick, I would suppose, and instead I just chose attack speed to help me out overall. At least in my own opinion, that would be a little bit better. However, Rhino, or rather, one moment. Yeah, what I wanted to say is that it's not also reliable. So the way I had the formation build, I could proc my Rhino hammer all the time, right? Because it had a radius of 8 and I have a range squad and it covers like Avril, Valerie, Arian, Ophidia all the time. And those are like the main DPS. And this one has only a chance to cover them. So it can be a buff to get a lot more damage, but it can also be a sort of a waste. However, there is only rather another thing. So you have this chakra 6-star, or rather harmonies, activates at the start of a battle and every 30 seconds. This is not that good. And then you have all friendly mages and undead mages receive the surprise spike, which means all of your mages, Valerie 100% included, Valerie even included for the first 20 seconds. And this is where the fun part starts, because then you can swap it to this. And if you're facing a stall side, you just click Valerie first ability, and you just watch it being friggin' destroyed because Void Eater was fixed. And that is like pretty much it. Like this set is so situational at low tier, but at the tier 6 or 6-star, this set becomes like pretty friggin' crazy, at least for the build that I have and are using. So yeah, that is like one of those things, and perhaps if I would be able to kind of try to go for this, but I'm not sure how fast the cast stones we would be able to cast iron we would be able to receive and stuff like that. Though this also can be pretty overpowered for builds like mine. However, until you reach that 6-star, it's very, 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 very situational. So, and the last item, Shadow Leopard Helmet. At the start of the battle, a Shadow Hurricane covering the whole lane with a width of 4, and that is incredibly small. Do mind you, I'm gonna show you a couple of replays. Near a friendly mage or necromancer, increasing the magical damage of all friendly mages and necromancers within range by 35% for 12 seconds. So let's see what else they have. Increases the width of Shadow Hurricane to 6. Now this will be a lot better, especially for burst sides. You're actually gonna see the range, and the range will be quite a bit bigger, because the way they increase it, they just raise it by 6, but essentially the range becomes a lot bigger than it was initially. Like the friggin' Warhammer from 5 to 8, it just covers more than half of the field if you place it like in the middle. That's how these changes sort of work. But yeah, this should be pretty friggin' good. Then harmonies, enemy melee units in the range of the hurricane think 35% more damage, or enemy mages in the range deal 55% less. So one of this is for clearing stall sites quicker, and the other one is trying to reduce the damage of the enemy burst side. So it's, again, situational, depending who you face more, either the burst sides or you want to face enemy burst sides. or usually face their stall sides and you want to break through quicker, right? Pretty situational. And of course, based on how you placed your mages and your necromancers, because this only triggers on one of them and then all the others have to be in range. And the 6-star activates at the start of the battle and 36 after. And Shadow Hurricane duration doubles. And this is more important because this 24 seconds would be increasing your mage damage towards clearing a stall side, which you do require about like 20 seconds majority of the time, or 25 or 30 right now. And also if you're facing, let's say, a burst side, 24 seconds, enemy mages, if they landed on this buff, deal 55% less damage, less likely for them to kill your backline, or you're more likely to actually kill their heroes or their stall sides or stuff like that. Because to keep in mind, it says melee units. That means heroes are included. I think dragon can be melee as well, question mark. But yeah, all of them are included. So yeah, do keep that in mind. Also, as I said before, slots, special slot at 4-star. So I will try to get those pieces to 4-star at least, and put on these special ones to increase other resistances that I do not have. So let me show you the effect of the armor. So let's see, need a siege on a big castle. We can use this. I do keep in mind the guy I'm sieging has Covenant, he has Void Eater, all that kind of stuff. So yeah, it's also a showcase how sieging became easier. So do you see this? This range covers like 2.5 squares, so pretty much like 3 squares or so, right? And with the additional buff or so, it's gonna expand quite a bit more. So if it lands on, say, Valerie or Avril or stuff like that, it's gonna even reach closer to Ophidia. I don't think it's gonna reach Tisiphone all the time, but you do understand that the range majority of the time will be so big that majority of my mages, majority of the time, will be fully covered in it. And that is the armor effect, and it's honestly pretty small. So yeah, that is the thing. Others, or rather other sets, honestly, in my opinion, are more stable. Like, you usually get something that is decent with very low chance of it like really being bad or useless or stuff like that. And Shadow Leopard set on lower levels do have that huge RNG that to a point you may not even use those buffs properly. So do keep that in mind. If you're for RNG, this set is for you. If you're not into too much RNG until you can max these equipments, then you may want to try out other sets. I'll try using them a little bit. I'm likely gonna wait for the armory set or armory event rather, and perhaps swap some of these pieces or just one of them. Anyways, that's pretty much it. Do let me know in the comments down below if you tested that yourself rather, and whether or not you find it useful or kind of the same thoughts as myself. Also, if you wish to support me more than just watching my videos, I have made a Patreon page where you would be able to do that, as well as I would be able to assist you more individually as well. As well as I would like to thank my first Patreon, Scott. Really appreciate for the subscription. And take care, everyone, and stay safe out there.